Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 489 at scavengerlife.com.
Yesterday, I was doing trim in our new coffee shop with my buddy.
Yeah, our contractor.
And you know, trim is like, that's a part of the construction where like it's the very end. And trim is what they've created to like cover everything you couldn't fix.
Yes.
And if you think about it, if you've never done it, there's actually trim in your house. Trim is everywhere. It's around your doors. It's around your windows. It's along the floor. It's just everywhere.
Yep.
And it takes so long to do, especially in an old building like we have, where the floor is kind of crooked a little bit and walls are crooked. A little bit,
yeah.
And,
it's very crooked.
Gaps, I mean, so it's like pulling out hair. And so,
yeah.
And, you know, of course I'm like, and I'm also just like a little bit, not stressed, just like a little bit, just like always nervous, like a new business. And, you know, this has to get done before anything else can happen. It's
well,
like
and then lots of other little things have to happen after this.
Right.
So.
However, I've talked about it before. It's like a video game. The video games I like to play are like a resource management game where, you know, you start off the game with just like whatever, like, you know, a bowl of oatmeal, five points or something. Yeah. And then you have to make decisions of how to grow your resources.
Yeah.
And there's different levels and it's super scary at first and then you build on what you've created. And oftentimes the end game is you're often just what they call farming, where because you've done a good job, you've created this efficient it's machine, and you're no longer out of resources.
Right.
And you're just winning by just kind of letting things go and run, and it's a good feeling. Like it's a very like a feeling of accomplishment. But the early days are different.
Yes.
This is interesting now. The kind of stress I feel now is not like when we were first starting out, like starting an eBay business. Because back then, it was like the beginning of a game where we didn't have anything, really. A hope and a prayer. And, you know, we just had our hard work. And back then, there were no podcasts to hear about selling on eBay or videos. You just kind of figure it out back in 2008 and earlier. And, you know, it's always like, are we going to make enough money? Is this going to work? And the cool thing is, and then we built the eBay business, and then we built our rental business, and now we're building this coffee business. It's nice. It's a little less stress because in this part of the game for us, like we have two other businesses to fall back on.
Right.
I'm so worried. I don't like spending a lot of money on this new business. Right. I'm always worried, like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's always the question.
Right.
I mean, from the beginning of everything.
But it's not the kind of stress like, if this doesn't work, we're in deep trouble.
Right,
you
right.
know? Like, it wouldn't be great, but we would still be okay.
Yeah.
You know. And, you know, and it also just goes back to the whole thing about, like, the stress of being a worker versus stress of being an owner. It's kind of like you get to choose your own flavors of stress, you know.
Yeah.
Like as a worker, I stress because I don't have any control. Yep. You know, someone else tells me what to do. They decide how much I get paid. You know, I don't know if I'm going to get laid off or not. Like,
right.
I just
you don't have any control
idea.
over it.
But as a business owner, the stress is, is this going to work? Do I have enough money to get this started? Will I lose all this money that I put in? Is this a stupid idea? I mean, those are...
Right. Like, you take these, in some cases, massive monetary risks, and then you're like, no one could ever book my Airbnb again.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, most likely that's not going to happen, but there is the stress of, like, those questions. Or on eBay, nobody might buy a single thing ever again on my store for whatever reason.
Right, like on a day where maybe you sell a one thing, you're just like, oh no, is it finished?
Or you sell two things and two people didn't pay and another person asked to cancel, which was yesterday. Yeah. You know, it's like... That's
suspiciously specific, right?
Yeah, it's very specific.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. So we actually, it's kind of a cool story. We actually signed up a new wholesale client for our coffee business with a new bakery in the next town over.
Yeah.
And we went to go deliver the beans that we just roasted.
It was awesome.
It was like, we're like these coffee roaster owners.
Yeah.
And we go and we meet one of the ladies who's starting the business. And, you know, it's not quite open yet, so she invites us into it. And we go back into like their kitchen, and there's stuff everywhere. They're still putting stuff together, and she probably talked to us about half an hour, and we were just asking her questions about how she started and what she's doing. And it's, you know, endlessly fascinating for us because,
well, she's in the same position as us. She's like, I have my health inspection. I had my it's, you know, Virginia Department of Agriculture, which we also had the same inspections. So it's like, it's funny to speak to someone in that position where you're like, I know exactly what you're going through, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
And she talked about like buying the building. So she actually owns a building.
Yeah, that was great.
Because it went into foreclosure, and she bought it on the courthouse steps, and she got a really good deal, but it had all these problems with it. And,
of course,
you know, she had someone there like fixing the like vent hood because it wasn't really working. And
like those are stresses, right?
But it's interesting, you know, talking to her and hearing how she's doing the best she can, like, and I know this feeling exactly. Like, you're running a business and you are like just constantly thinking of anything that can go wrong. And you're like, nope, everything's good. But there's still always a feeling like I'm
any moment
I'm missing something, you know. And all you can do is just keep going, you know.
Right. Well, look, I think that describing that, so like we had something happen where we had to unclog a drain at one of the rentals while the renters were there, which is not a big deal. Like, that's total normal. Like, it happens, you know, to everybody, even in your own house. But it's funny because you just don't know when those things are going to happen. You know, you're constantly, like you said, like at any moment someone's like, oh, the heat's not working. And you're like, we have to figure out why. You know, we have to figure it out right now.
And it might cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, like it's just...
Right.
So that is constantly in the back of your mind. As a business owner, which is, like you said, very different than working for someone else, which you have other concerns in the back of your mind, but it's just a different. But for me, it's oddly and crazy enough, it's more freedom because, you know, yesterday I was able to do a variety of things at home that involved all of my businesses, crazy enough. But I got to do it in my own time at my house. Like, we had someone pick up a chair on eBay. We can talk about it. Did a local pickup. And it was really funny because I was like, she was like 5 minutes late and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm a little bit late. And I was like, oh, I was just hanging out at home. I was working, but I was hanging out at home. She's like, oh, that's nice that you can just like work at home. And I'm like, it is really nice, actually. Nice, I was getting so much stuff done for actually all three businesses. Yeah. So it's just funny how it's just... You know, for me, the freedom is more important.
Yeah. But at the same time, there's always stress.
Right.
It's just, how much stress and what kind of stress you want, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And look, I mean, when you're a business owner, too, you can outsource that stress for as much as you're willing to pay for it.
Yep.
I could have called a plumber. We could have called a plumber to fix that clog. It would have cost us a couple $100. But we were like willing to drive over there. Actually, I had to drive over there twice.
Yep.
Because I didn't have the exact right tools, which was you.
A manly man.
I needed you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just those are those decisions, you know.
I will say it seems like the best of all worlds, if you can, if we're talking about life being a video game, is that if you get one of those jobs when you're younger that has a pension.
Oh, okay. Does that exist? I mean, do people
there's
still have, like, non-military...
If you're like a fireman or a policeman...
Or woman.
A woman.
Or woman.
Or if you're a woman.
You said policeman.
Oh, I'm sorry. A police person. Sorry. I thought you meant if you're just a woman. I'm like, wow, that's
a police
cool.
woman, fire woman.
Right, you know, or some kind of state or local or federal government. You know, if you can get that early and if you can, as a video game, if you can just muscle through, what is it, 20, 30 years or something?
Muscle through those 30 years. Okay. No, people do. Look, like,
the best times
if you're 19,
the best times of your life. If you can muscle through that, but you make it through the other side, and you're like 50, and then you get a full pension, which is basically a guaranteed paycheck
for the rest of your life.
Then you start like an eBay business or some other kind of business. That actually seems pretty sweet. That now that like a muscling through 20 or 30 a year seems tough to me. Like that's a tough video game right there. But I'm at that age, 47 years old, where I now meet guys my age who, are doing that.
Right. You're like, they're 50, they're retiring.
They're retiring with a pension. And I'm like, wow, that's sweet. Now that you've done all that, although they'll always tell me long stories about that slog. But anyway.
That is serious. I couldn't even stay in an office job for like 2 years. I was like, I gotta get out. And that was like a 9-month contract. It wasn't even the full year. I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not my personality or yours, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, numbers, or let's talk about eBay, sorry. Specifically eBay. All this is kind of about eBay.
It's all related.
eBay sent us a message saying that they undercharged us or didn't charge us for FedEx. I guess what is it?
In August?
It was like from back in like May. They were like,
it was that long?
Yeah,
no, I don't think so. I don't think it was that far. I think it was really?
Far. It was like at least 3 months. They're like, oh, by the way, we didn't charge you for these
FedEx labels,
shipping charges,
$75.
And then what do? You're like, I don't know. Like,
it's so crazy.
I don't like that. I don't know why
so
they
annoying.
can't.
It's super annoying. You're like, why can't eBay keep up with their? Yeah,
I feel like as a business owner, I do not like surprise charges like that, you know.
So that is super annoying. You're like, well, and also, how am I going to go reconcile that?
Right.
I guess I could go look in that month and see. Well, I would have to go look at that invoice.
Well, it's interesting. They don't send you they just say, oh, by the way, we're going to charge you $75, but they don't list which packages.
Yeah, because then I could see when.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
I wonder if it's
kind of annoying.
I wonder if in the invoice they will list those packages, because usually they'll give you a list of which ones they're charging you for.
I just don't understand why FedEx and eBay are not communicating better.
I have no idea.
Shipping supplies for the fourth quarter.
Yes, get your shipping supplies.
Yes, someone just mentioned that on the forum.
Well, someone was asking, where do you find the coupon? Because it's really hard to find. I will say this also. If you're logged into your account, which has your store, you can go to the eBay shipping supplies page, fill up your cart, and then when you go to check out, go to the bottom and say apply coupon.
So automatically...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's new within the last few quarters.
Okay.
So you don't have to go find it and enter it. It should know, oh, you're on the eBay shipping supply site. You have a coupon for this very, page.
Did we get an extra coupon? I know during...
Yeah, a few months ago we did.
Okay.
It was before third quarter, I think.
It was like a pandemic coupon, right?
Yeah, it was in July or something.
What'd you get?
Was it? I don't know. I can't remember.
Come on.
I just order stuff and...
You just did it...
the other day? Yeah.
Oh, yesterday.
God.
It was 24 hours ago.
I know. Boxes. I needed some,
what size?
I think, they have a 12 by 14 by 8 or some weird, eBay. Just do 12 by 12 by 12. Everybody wants a 12 by 12 by 12 box.
Right.
Give that to us. It's so annoying. So a box similar to that size. I got some more poly mailers. I really like whenever I have $20 extra that I need to get something, I get the little stickers. It's thank you for supporting my small business, and then it says eBay. I put that on every single box because I think it's important to tell people we're a small business. We're not drop shippers from Amazon. Yep. Obviously, they're buying an antique vase from me, but still, I think it's important.
So my process in all of this is that those boxes come, they go to our front porch. I carry them because normally it's a bunch of boxes, boxes of boxes.
Yeah.
I carry them to our back like warehouse and
just
put
stick
them
it on that shelf.
on top of the shelves. They're like at the very top, and now stuff is being stacked. Are you going into that and getting stuff?
Yep.
Okay, so we aren't just hoarding forever.
Nope.
You're actually pulling it off of it.
I pull stuff out of there frequently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We do have a lot of boxes because we have weird shaped things,
Yep.
big lamps and stuff.
Yep.
This like 25-inch garden statue of Alice in Wonderland. I'm like,
But
Oy.
we had a box for it.
I had a box.
Yeah.
I actually had a box that was too big for it, and I had to cut it down, but it did work.
Good.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, and I don't want this to be too long, but I think we need to do a service for people. We were talking about shipping last week.
Yep.
And then I was like, this is too boring. Let's stop talking about it. And someone wrote to us, and they're like, we're just getting started. Shipping is very important. Our business will make or break. How do you do shipping policies?
Oh, shipping policies.
Give me a quick rundown of how you set up shipping policies.
You have to go in and opt into them. I could not tell you where that is.
That's fine.
But
so
if you Google
opt into business policies.
Yeah,
right?
opt in. The issue is eBay will kind of set up some automatic, shipping policies
based on the items in your store.
And it's a mess.
Right.
Because there are lots of things that are just different.
So an AI bot will check out the inventory in your store and make up a bunch of policies.
Yeah. So you want to go in and clean those up. Everything that you want to go first class, you got to make a policy for that. Everything you want to go media mail, all your books.
But you don't have to attach items to that policy.
Yes, you do.
You do? Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
If they haven't already attached it.
Gotcha.
So that's where the horrendous nightmare, especially for someone like us who has 8,000 items.
But once you set it up, though, then when you put an item on eBay, you just choose a policy.
You choose a policy. So if I do a lightweight silk blouse, I'm like, well, that's the first class policy. I do so what's cool about it is you can say, I want this to go first class, but I am going to offer a priority as a second thing for someone if they want it faster. No one ever chooses that, though, honestly. They choose the cheapest shipping.
We're going to talk about that in 1 second.
Yeah, and then you can have different... Like we said a couple of weeks ago, we sell nail polish because we bought, huge boxes of,
300 bottles.
Yeah, literally so many. It wasn't 300, it was, 800 bottles.
800 bottles.
And so I have a policy just for that because it has to go ground, it has to go parcel, and it can't go international. So I have a nail polish policy.
So, but for the most part, 80% of our items are under one or two policies.
Exactly.
Just Polymailer.
Yeah. I have two policies. It's parcel select, which is the big, bulky, weird items, and then I have first class.
Now, does eBay give you choices of policies, or can you totally customize them?
You customize them.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is really helpful. I find it very helpful because if I ever need to change something, I was doing eBay send, international send, and I actually wanted to turn that off. It was so easy. I'm like, turn off send, turn on global shipping, and then 8,000 items have the new.
Right.
I don't have to. Bulk edit 500 at a time, which is a nightmare.
So what happens when you have the Alice in Wonderland big statue? Is that just its own policy, or do you have a crazy item policy?
No, because the policies don't include size. So I'm able to say, do this parcel select. This is the potential, approximate size of the box, and this is the weight. So the shipping policies are not going to have weight.
Okay.
It's just going to have how you want to ship it. And then each individual item, you're like, this is 15 pounds. This is 3 ounces. This is,
So the shipping policy isn't specific box size.
No.
It's just parcel select, FedEx grounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly right.
A USPS.
There's a million choices. Yeah. Regional rate A. I mean, you're not going to choose those things unless you have a commodity item that is the cheapest in that box. But
so what happens if people are all about pirate ship? They're all about it, Ryan. And we're we don't want to do pirate ship. So people that do pirate ship, they're still using eBay shipping policies.
Yeah, you could still buy a label off pirate ship.
Okay, so it's still a USPS ground, but it's just
buy a first class buy a priority, buy a whatever off a pirate ship.
And then, so they buy this label off a pirate ship, and then is it synced to eBay?
You can sync your eBay store. Okay. Like, you can say, hey, pirate ship, you're allowed to sync my... So we do that for Broadporch, the coffee company. Yep. We sync our eBay store and our Squarespace store to Shippo, and it just like back syncs. So if I print a label off Shippo for an eBay order, it tells eBay, hey, this is the tracking number.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question that everyone wants to know. Mm-hmm. This is a good time. I feel like I'm in a safe space. I have backup here. Okay.
Oh boy.
With Pirate Ship, every week we have people saying how great it is. You know, they're shipping something like this past week. People were like, yeah, I put it in this bag and I'm saving like, $5. Yeah. And I'll like forward you these messages because I'm like, Ryan, can we save $5? Do you not think we can save money, or you just don't want to add something
I should just check.
I mean, this has been like, it's one of those things where people have been talking about this for like a year and a half, and we do this. We'll like ignore it because it's like, this is our process. We don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then we'll like finally, these messages will break through the noise.
Yeah.
And then you'll try it. And then you're going to come back and say like, I don't know why I never did this. Like, this is the best thing.
Okay. Well, what I can do, I do have a pirate ship account that is actually synced to our eBay store. I just never use it. Because I forget. Every morning I'm like, whatever, I just need to get this out. But
just try it like next time you ship something and just see if the price is better.
I mean, I've compared with small like first class and small priority boxes, and the price is the same. But like people say, it's the dimensional and cubic pricing that's better. So the bigger, bulkier items.
No. But people are saying...
I thought...
Not even that. They said there's another thing, and this is why I like forward you these things, because I don't really understand them. They're saying even small things like a pair of boots or something where they're heavy, as long as they can fit in this certain size. Like there was this whole conversation with a retro WV Treasures and Temujin, I think that's his name, and they were like, this whole thing.
Well, I don't know. I just gotta try. It's just another thing to check out.
But it could change.
Okay, fine. Great.
Lives.
I'll do it. Okay. I'll report on it next week.
Guys, I'm glad you're here with me. That can be a very dangerous conversation for me to have alone. Okay, our week this week. We sold 38 items, which is strangely the exact same
38 items from 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. 38 items.
Does that seem like a lot or a little?
Well, it seems seems fine, but it's just weird.
The exact. What does that mean? The exact. And we made almost the exact same amount. We made $1,439. Are
you sure you did the numbers? That's not last week's numbers?
I'm absolutely positive.
This is so weird. Yeah. Well, cool. I like those numbers.
Yeah, it just happened to kind of be that.
Yeah, way. 38 feels like a lot to pack, and it was, I certainly was packing a lot.
Yeah. So, we sold, like you mentioned, we did sell a local pickup item. Yes. We sold like this antique gun lock chair.
Yeah.
Check it out, people. Gun lock with an E. Which we've had for a long time. We have sold these chairs before. They're also like known as like bankers chairs. They're like solid wood. They're beautiful. We've gotten away with selling them for like $400 to $600 in the past,
which is crazy.
And we kind of went on a buying spree, and we bought like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And this is, I think we have one more. Someone was like, I'll give you $150.
I was like, yes.
It's been like 6 months since we sold one. Like, absolutely. So I was not here. I was doing trim.
Yes.
You said a woman came, and we've talked about it before. eBay now has like this QR code to help with local pickups, solving the problem of someone comes to pick an item up. How do you prove that they got it?
Right.
They got a QR code and...
Yeah, so she gets the QR code. There's also a numeric code you can type in if your phone, for whatever reason, can't scan the QR code. And I just reminded her, I'll scan your QR code so it proves that you picked it up. And it was great. She pulled out her phone. She like went into her eBay app and she showed me the QR code, and I took my phone and scanned it, and it was like, great, picked up.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Just wait till like one day you like put your phone up to her eyeball.
Yeah, retina scan.
Scanning her eye.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't mind the local pickup. I do really dislike it when someone comes in person. This happens on Craigslist too, or Facebook, where someone looks at it and they're like eyeing all the damage. Yeah. Or, even though it's listed as like, there was like a little crack in one part that had been repaired.
Which was in the photos.
And I talked about it. That's
just like the typical, people watch these shows on TV about like, you know, whatever, you know, buying auction, you know what I'm saying? You got to talk people down. That's why I like the eBay local pickup. We make people pay before they come. Like, they cannot come until they pay. Yeah. So that way, there's no money to exchange. Haggling. They haven't paid us. Because for us, it's like, well, I mean, you've already bought it. You can take it or just walk away and we'll just give you your money back.
Well, and also, you just lost 2 to 4 hours. She lived 2 hours away, one way. Right. So she just lost 4 hours of her time if she doesn't want it.
It's just, so I don't really take it. I mean, I sold some insulation. I don't know, was it like a month ago or something? We had some that we didn't put into our walls, and I was just trying to get rid of it, but I want to make some money.
Yeah, it was $50.
$50, and he comes in, and of course, right before we're about to, you know, pay, he's going to pay me. He's like, "So, will you?"
I was there, and I was the one that said no.
He was like, "Will you take?"
He's like, so we're helping him load it up 2 flights of stairs from a basement up to the thing. Right. We're all dirty, you know. We're lugging it up there. He's got an entire truckload of insulation for $50. Right. He was like insulating part of a trailer or something like that. And he's like, "So would you take any less?" And I said, "Nope."
Yep. And, you know, and then he was like, "Okay, fine." You know, so
he's got the money.
He already had the money. It's just one of those things.
I'm kind of a hard ass about that stuff because I feel like they should have haggled when we were talking before.
The haggles before the deal. Well, the haggle isn't like when you've delivered it.
So this chair I had up for over $300. Right. She offered $150. I said yes. I'm like, you already haggled with me. Like, that's done. I mean, like, again, like you said, like, she can walk away
it's just a thing. I think Americans, it's like we haven't traditionally ever haggled. Yeah, at least
it's not. It's seen as like rude.
But now people are into the haggling because they watch those shows on TV where you're like, you got to haggle. It's like
you got to talk them down.
It's like a power game,
which I'll do for things, but it's before I get there with my money. Yep. You know.
Scavenge of the week. We bought. This isn't really it's kind of for eBay. So in our new coffee shop.
Yes.
There is a wall it's like an exposed brick wall right by the bathroom. And my buddy said, "Why don't you put a payphone there?" And, you know, not one that works, and not like one of the old-timey ones where you
like a 1990s.
Yeah, like one that I would have
80s,
used.
90s.
Like a 1990s.
Chrome and blue and black.
Right. And I was like, I wonder if you can buy those. Of course
you can on eBay.
You go to eBay, and we were trolling eBay, and we actually bought 2 payphones for $100. You know, some guy had a pair.
It was $180 total. Yeah, for 2 shipped.
Right. And so we're going to maybe we still have to see if it looks good and if our partners think it's a good idea. We'll put one up and then we'll sell the other one.
And hopefully I sell it for the price I paid for both of them.
Obviously, it will not work.
It's for display.
But I think it would be kind of cool. And for the younger people who have never used a payphone, I think that they would probably be like taking pictures of themselves.
Oh, for sure.
Calling on the phone.
I mean, it's this funny little nook in the building where like that. It would be so funny to have an old payphone.
Me and Aaron were actually thinking, you know, because you could probably hollow out the inside and put some kind of VoIP, like an internet.
I was thinking that too. You could plug it in.
The only thing is it's on a wall without power.
Yeah.
And so we'd have to think about, even if you could have it be a Wi-Fi, you still need power
over there.
And so anyway, it's something we could think about. You know, so people could actually make phone calls from.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? Yeah. It would be a whole thing, but it would be really funny to do that. That was a fun buy.
Yeah.
eBay. I definitely talked that guy down of his price.
But you did it at the correct time.
I did it Well, he had make on. He had make on.
Payment.
Actually, he didn't have make offer, but I was like, "Would you take?" I think I said he had them up for $150 for 2 of them, but the shipping was $89.
Right.
Because they're huge, and I think they were in like the Midwest or something. And he was like, "Yeah, I'd take $100 for 2 of them." His pictures were horrible, so.
Yeah. Customer issues. So I don't know if you want to talk about this. We got a USPS charge.
All right, this is insane.
And I'll just preface it, and then it's all you. You know, sometimes people will get this where they're like, we had to change what you got charged for an item because
your box size was
USPS
off.
says you didn't put in the right information.
Right.
And so the buyer paid us $12.
Yeah.
The post office says it costs $43.
I know.
For an item that was $15 to us.
Plus the $12 I already paid for shipping.
Oh, it's $43 on top?
Yes.
So it was like $55?
I'm like, they said my box was not correctly measured, which is correct. I did not correctly measure the box, so that is my fault. But I went in and they give you the measurements of your actual, because actually this item was much bigger than I thought. It was this little thermos cooler thing. I guess when I was listening, I was like, oh, it's not that big. Like someone else took a picture of it. And then I got it and I was like, this thing is like oversized. It's much bigger. Like there wasn't anything for scale in the photo, which is my fault and also a very old listing. So anyway, that's fine. Okay. I underdid the box size when I printed the label also. But I took the measurements of the box. So it was going from Virginia to California. That's a long way. Okay, that's heavy. That's expensive. But I went into USPS.com and I was like, this zip code to this zip code, these box sizes that they said my box was, it should be $20 max for priority mail. Not $42 plus $12. $55.
Right.
So there is an email. So eBay has nothing. It doesn't, I could call eBay. They're not going to do anything about it. But, there's a phone number. This was yesterday. It was Saturday. I was like, no one's going to pick up. And then there's an email where they say they will get back to you within 5 business days. So I emailed them. I basically replied to this email with all the info and put the, verify postage at USPS.com or whatever it is. And I was just like, this is a crazy amount that even on your website says that with the weight and the size of this box should not be more than $20. Right.
So that was just through email.
That was through email. There is a phone number. So if I don't, I'm going to take it as far as I can with appeals because I'm just like, that is egregious.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
how would they think that?
I mean, we've gotten before where it's like you owe an extra $1.
Right. Sure. I've had that happen.
50 cents.
Well, sometimes my scale, I also see this. It sucks. Sometimes you'll be weighing stuff, you ship stuff out, and then you look at your scale and it's like -2. Like for some reason the tear or the 0 went off and you're like, oh. And most of the time it's okay, but then they'll be like, this wasn't, 4 ounces, this was 7 ounces, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
So that can happen. It's rare, though. I find it to be rare that happens.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like, they're saying I owe an extra $42? Right. That's insanity.
Now, this is one that bothered me, but I think you handle this stuff more than other people. So a guy bought like a shirt from us.
Yeah, I don't care about
yesterday.
This.
And, and he chose
parcel.
Like you said, people pay the cheap, it was parcel select.
Right.
Like he bought the cheapest shipping he could, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then he writes us and says, like, the post office has been horrendous. Can you make sure you ship this priority or send it FedEx? And I wrote before even talking to you because I was outraged.
Me write to people like this.
Just like, we'll ship it at the cost, at the service you paid for. And right now, you just paid for parcel select. If you want us to ship it a higher
you gotta
thing,
pay for that.
You got to pay for it. And then he wrote back like, well, I paid $8. So.
Yeah.
And so then I let you handle it. I started the fire and I let you
deal great. With it. So yeah, I'll see if it'll fit in a flat rate envelope. Like it should fit. Sometimes clothes are heavy and bulky and weird. This is like
Plus, it's going to California. So
no, it's not actually. It's really close.
Where's it going?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
I could literally
Pennsylvania.
It's gonna get like even if you did choose parcel select, I'm like it's probably gonna get there just fine. But I don't know. People like that are just. Sometimes you just literally have to be like, okay, and just ignore them. Yeah. And then it'll get there and it's fine. Although I have seen a lot of delays on parcel on big, heavy items going to the Midwest or to California from here. I've seen literally things are taking 15 to 17 days to go across the country. That's a long time. But it sort of happened during the election, and then after the election, I saw things start moving through again. Like,
is it bigger items that are the slower ones?
Because they'll be like, "There's no room on the truck," and they just leave it.
Our coffee packages are getting to people quickly
fast
because they're small.
I sent a coffee package across the country first class. Now, we don't send anything first class, but it was a gift for someone. Right. It got there in 2 days. Right. I was like, yo, Phil, that was fast.
Yeah, so let's quickly talk about coffee because that's what we're into right now. Coffee.
Especially shipping coffee.
If you're interested, we actually have no calls today, so if you're not interested in hearing the coffee talk, you can tune out now. Yeah. So our partner will not allow us to ship first class, even though we know oftentimes first class is just as fast as priority. He's like, we need to get things fast, so we're doing priority, and that's fine. I think that's good. He is a line in the sand, so we always pay the extra to make sure it's shipped quickly. But oftentimes it does get there quick, first class to our friends.
Yeah. So I got a bag for myself basically to send to a friend, and I was like, I'm going to send this first class because I'm paying for it myself, and it was really fast. I was like, yes, this is a good. So things are moving in the post office.
And I will say, someone had been asking us a while ago, like, what's the difference between like trying to run like a coffee bean business for selling on eBay.
Yeah, it's so different.
It really is. But this week is kind of where I'm starting to like, oh yeah, I get it. It is about volume, and that's a nice thing. I'm starting to see we're getting repeat orders, which is
about volume and repeat customers, which is so different.
It really is about building like a brand with repeat customers because people like us drink a lot of coffee. Yeah. So we've been doing this long enough now with them where I'm seeing people reorder.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's so-and-so, yep.
So if we can get, 500 people that reorder every month, I mean, that becomes like...
That becomes our business.
A much different business than the way we're selling on eBay, where it's just a one-offs to whoever.
Right. And sometimes, on eBay, it's rare, but you will get repeat customers, but it's usually like a couple of years between sales. Like you might recognize our
But we don't sell an item that people need again and again.
Yeah, like coffee... Right. I mean, we go through coffee like it's our business. Oh, it is our business. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. So it is definitely a commodity item. So it's a very different mindset.
But like tomorrow, we roast on Mondays and Thursdays. Like
just a reminder, get your orders in.
So like tomorrow, we're going to be shipping almost 60 bags of coffee.
This is before I even publish the podcast, people.
And that's not including, again, so that's just the retail bags. And then we have wholesale to like cafes and
we have a huge wholesale order to send out to tomorrow.
And like I said, we had just signed up a new bakery, which is nice. So it's exciting,
Yeah, it's like I joke with Phil, like I always say luxury problems because I'm just like, we'll have these Monday days where we're like, we got to get in early and we're going to be out late because we got to get all this stuff out so that everyone has like the freshest stuff and they're ready. It's Thanksgiving this week on Thursday. Jay literally is like, oh, it is. And so we're trying to get all that stuff done before, Wednesday night.
And it's kind of cool. The building we bought to roast coffee in is about a block from the post office.
It's great. And we just walk up there.
Post office closes at 4:30. We don't have enough volume yet where we could ask them to come and like...
Yeah, not quite.
I mean, we could, I guess. But I like to... I take it in an IKEA bag. This big bag of coffee. I take it up there.
Yep.
I know the ladies up there. Yep. They all love coffee. I'll take them samples. It's fun. It's like it's so much different because
it's such a small town.
It's just a much more kind of like hands-on business.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. I'm having fun doing it.
Well, it's almost like you're a delivery man. Oh, and we just got new orders for local pickup in our town.
Yeah.
So we offer local pickup in Harrisonburg, which is where the cafe is currently. And we're starting to offer local pickup in our town. And we're like, oh, this is like a whole other thing where people got to come and get this.
And people are actually calling Phil being like, can I order a drink and pick it up? Because, you know,
to go.
They think it's like,
it's to go.
Like this pandemic food takeout where they want like a latte, order it, and then come pick it up.
Which is so funny.
We're not actually doing that yet.
But like, it's not even just one. It's like several people are calling and asking for a pickup.
But it's cool. I think that...
which is great.
Our upcoming business is going to be in the newspaper, in our local newspaper. This week. So that'll be cool. Just to... Because that is the other thing about eBay. You know, with eBay business, like if you're new to eBay, it's like... We're always like, keep it simple. Don't like... You don't need an LLC. You don't need like a brand.
Yeah,
just like
it's so different. Yeah,
listing stuff.
So different.
Your store can be called anything. XXXXX. You know, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Because people aren't really buying from your brand. They're doing
buying the
search.
Cool item you have.
And you have like a vintage lamp, and that's what they
payphone.
Want. They don't even know who it's from. It's just like it's a price I want. I like the photos.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
With this, it is about building like a brand and educating people. So this article, we really worked hard talking to the reporter, just trying to, without sounding spammy, just like trying to, this is what the business is going to be. This is what people can expect. You know, this is the experience people want. So much different.
It's so much different. Yeah. I mean, it's not different than our Airbnb business, really, although we're not like, you know, shipping things to people, but you're creating an expectation and an experience, and you're hoping people return.
Right.
And it's a similar thing where you've sort of branded yourself. You know, we have done it in a different way with Airbnb, you know, so it is similar in that respect. You're just not like shipping things over and over, although you're having people check in and you're hoping to give them the same experience every time. You know, there's a consistency that you want people to expect. You know, there have been times where we've like eaten at restaurants, like local restaurants, and you're like, oh, I really love this place because XYZ. And then you go back another time and you're like, wow, this is not the same experience I had before. Yeah. And like, that's when you know.
I think that's what gets me worried sometimes, because this is a new business, is like, you know, first impressions are important in a small town like this. Like there's, 5,000 people in our town.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're in Manhattan where there's millions of people.
Right.
So if 5 people don't like you, it doesn't really matter.
In our small town, 5 people don't like you here, that's a problem.
Our town is like that. Like if someone comes and visits and they don't like it, it's not good, because they tell other people, and
then they never come back.
And people don't give you multiple times. So this needs to be right from the get-go.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's why, every piece of trim must be perfect.
Every piece of trim, that's true.
But I will say, anyone out there who has bought coffee from us, we really appreciate it. It really excites our partners too, because we've kind of opened up a new audience for their coffee. You can buy it at broadporchcoffee.com. And like we say, great for gifts.
Yes, that's what we're hoping, that people get coffee gifts for each other.
We have, and again, we love the Southern Split. Like, if you're new to specialty coffees, Southern Splits are blend. That's like the coffee. It's just smooth, rich. If you really love specialty coffee and, have a bit of a adventurous streak, I'd say the Burundi.
Or the Ethiopian.
And we just got Cameroon.
Cameroon is really special, and it's not a lot of places have Cameroon, because there's only one co-op in Cameroon that grows it, and we know the distributor.
Right.
So we just got it back in, and we're just roasting it, and I've been drinking it for a week, just making sure it's good, and it's amazing. So try Cameroon. We just got it back in. It's yum.
Okay, everyone have a good Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully you're keeping it quiet and small, and
even though you won't be shipping that day, hopefully you'll be selling a lot that day and shipping the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
This podcast is ending in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye.